Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great afternoon here. We got fantasy basketball starting back up on Thursday. I'm recording this on Wednesday, February 23rd. We're going to just hop in and do a quick video here on players that you guys should be picking up in fantasy leagues. And I think one of the hot pickups of the week that I've seen here is going to be Cameron Payne. And we'll get to him in a second, but I just want to read this because apparently he was on a radio show and he says the wrist injury is improving, but he's still got some complications and considers himself day to day. And then this article goes on to speculate that Cameron Payne, Aaron Holiday, and Alfred Payton, it's going to be kind of like a three-headed monster. So I still think as far as who the best player is, it's probably Cameron Payne to pick up. And what's interesting is if we go to our favorite hashtag basketball, I just want to show you guys for the remainder of the week here. The Phoenix Suns are one of the few teams that do have this nice three-game slate. So they're going to play Oklahoma, they're going to play the Pelicans, and the Utah Jazz. So they do have three fun games here out of 4 days to help you guys in the back end of this week. But going forward, I don't know what to do. I think in the short term, Aaron Holiday is probably the best guy for this three-game stretch, but Cameron Payne long term, I want him as long as Paul's going to be out. So I think that's how I'm going to say this. Add Cameron Payne for the long run. If you just want a guy for 3 days or for 3 games, go ahead and get Aaron Holiday. And then before we get into the actual players here, I just want to show you the teams that have 3 games in the next 4 days. That's going to be the Boston Celtics. They're going to play Brooklyn, Detroit, and the Pacers. That's a 3-game road stretch there. So the Celtics have 3 games in 4 days. Keep it moving down here. The Denver Nuggets have 3 games in 4 days. The Detroit Pistons have 3 games in 4 days. And I believe that's the Suns are the last one. So just those teams. That's the Suns, the Pistons, the Nuggets, and the Celtics. Only 4 teams there for you guys. Check out, again, you guys can check out hashtag basketball. Just go to their advanced, if you go to hashtagbasketball.com, click on their advanced schedule grid and you'll be able to see that there for yourself. But anyways, let's get into the meat of the video, why you clicked on this. And we're going to start with just some of the guys that need to be rostered. Now, I filtered this by the last 15 days. So guys that are basically above 50% rostered. Now, I get it. If you're watching this and you play in 10 and 12-man leagues, you guys are probably not available. But Inferne Simons, Isaiah Stewart, Zubac, Evan Fournier, Josh Hart, Aaron Gordon, Andre Drummond, and I guess we'll throw in Brandon Clark because there's a drop-off after that. But these guys are all 50% and above rostered here, but they're all playing really, really good basketball right now. I think Drummond's one of the fun guys here as Brooklyn needs, a starting center. And just in a 3-game sample here, pretty good numbers. So go ahead and check out some of these guys. I would advocate if they're available, go ahead and add them for sure. But now let's filter by average fantasy points. And I'll start to find you guys some different players here. So Kobe White, one of the first players here, he's averaging 36.3 points per game. He's only 28% rostered, so he's a hot pickup for the week here. There's Terrence Mann, the Clippers small forward, shooting forward here. He had some really nice games before the All-Star break. His minutes were peaking here. You look at that nice little stretch here. The scoring's up. Very good rebounder and assists, steals, blocks. So he'll touch on some of all of those. So he's kind of like a 4-category player. But over the last 7-8 games before the break, he was coming out really hot. So Terrence Mann's a hot pickup. Cam Thomas. Now he was getting a lot of run in the last, the buildup before the All-Star break. You look at the last about 8 games here. This is a fantasy, a must-add fantasy player, I think, coming out of the All-Star break. I know Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons are going to be coming back at some point, maybe in a week or 2. But for the time being, this is a really good player here, Cam Thomas. He's going to get some run going forward with the team. So I'm excited about him. There's Isaiah Stewart, Denny Avdija. Still don't know how to pronounce that. We'll figure that out later. But he's only 5% rostered. He's averaging 29 fantasy points per game. He is a big beneficiary of what the Wizards did at the trade deadline. You look at his last about 6 games here, all over 20 fantasy points. His scoring is up. His rebounding is up. Assists, steals, blocks. He's kind of a 5-category player if he's going to be getting 30-some minutes. So I'm a huge fan of Denny. He's a must-pick-up player right now. Again, only 5% rostered. There's LaMarcus Aldridge. Again, I'd rather have LaMarcus Aldridge over Andre Drummond. Just a 3-game sample here. It looks really nice. Points, rebounds, just really nice here. So the center, it's gonna get some play time, whether it's Aldridge or Drummond. I think both those guys are really good pickups. You have Lance Stevenson coming in here. He's averaging 28 points per game. just under 3% rostered. And the Pacers are such a weird team. I don't know how they're going to mess around and be adding these players into their lineup. You see his minutes are kind of herky-jerky. So I'm not sure here, but he did trip my sensors. I'm going to shout out some other players now, just kind of rapid fire. Kenrick Williams need to be rostered. Oklahoma City Thunder's a fun team right now. Devin Vassell, Talon Horton-Tucker, Hamidou Diallo, Patrick Beverley needs to be rostered. Jashawn Tate for the Houston Rockets. He's a guy that needs to be rostered. Mason Plumlee, Jay Crowder, Raul Neto getting the starting minutes for Washington. And right before the All-Star break, he was, starting to play really well. So in 10 and 12-man leagues, I do like Raul Neto. Some other guys, Pokuševski here for the OKC Thunder. KCP, Alec Burks, Zubac, there he is, 62% rostered. Lou Dort, I think he's going to be good to go outside of the break here. It says he's out Wednesday. That was from last week. So we'll see. I think he should be good to go coming out of the break. We're still waiting to see what happens with SGA. There's Terry Taylor. Not sure about his minutes and stuff, but he had been playing really, really well before the All-Star break. Kleber, Maxi Kleber here. Big beneficiary of the trade of why can't I think of his name? You guys know who I'm talking about. The big man there in Dallas. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Porzingis. But no Porzingis. That means more Kleba and maybe more Dwight Powell. Marcus Morris Sr. There's Aaron Holiday and Alfred Payton. Now, I'm keeping my eye on these guys. Again, Suns have 3 games in the next 4 days. If Cameron Payne does not play, I think Holiday and Payton are average, pretty good plays. And then since I got you here, some of the guys I couldn't add to my watches because they're already on my team. And I'll just show you guys these players here. So Justice Winslow, a must-add player. I think he's a legit fantasy stud the rest of the way here. And we did just see there was an injury reported from Portland. What's his name? Joseph Nurkic is out for like a month. So we'll look at that in a second here. But I do think Justice Winslow over the last since he got traded to Portland, man, he's been a stud. 5 straight games over 30 fantasy points. He's a 5-category player. The minutes are sky high. Just a really solid player, Justice Winslow. Only 15% rostered, so get him while you can. Steven Adams, under 50% rostered. He needs to be owned. Ayo Dosunmu needs to be rostered. He's been playing great. You look at his last 4 games before the All-Star break. Is basically a 40-minute, player the last 4 games here. So Dosunmu averaging a ton of fantasy points here, only 24% rostered. So Dosunmu, Winslow. I do like Mo Bamba. He's about 60% rostered. I think Chuma Okeke, a really good piece for the Magic, averaging, just under 30 minutes per game, highly effective. And he is a 5-category player. He's very good with steals and blocks. As well. O'Shea Brissett. This is the center play that I want in the Pacers here. This is the guy here who's a really good scorer, really good rebounder. He does touch, all 5 categories, maybe not every night, but 4 to 5 categories per night. Just really productive here. Big man for the Pacers. And then there's Cameron Payne. So those are some guys that did not make the list. Now, before you guys get out of here, let's just look at what Portland's going to be doing with their vacancy at the center position. I would imagine they're going to sign somebody. I just want to see if there's any news out there and if they're going to be signing someone. So the Nurkic news.
All right, Jared, what else do you got for us on the injury front?
Stop talking. Nothing on Nurkic here. Let me go to Twitter real quick. Just go ahead and type in Blazers. So there's the Woj saying he's going to miss at least a month with plantar fasciitis in his left foot, the team says. I'm not sure who is going to get the bulk of the run here. Let's take a look here at what they got. So the minutes, the last 15 days before All-Star break here, I'm going to filter by minutes. Josh Hart was getting a ton of minutes. Again, he's 56% rostered. He needs to be owned. Simons needs to be owned. Winslow needs to be owned. CJ Ellaby's interesting. He's not a great fantasy player, but he gets a lot of minutes, about 21 fantasy points per game. So if you play in 12-man leagues, that's very useful. And then there's Nurkic. And then after that, you have a couple power forwards here, Trendon Watford and Greg Brown. Now, I believe they just gave Watford some money. So he's an interesting guy. So on Monday, which was just 2 days ago, he agreed to a 2-way contract in order to sign so they terminated his 2-way contract to sign a 4-year, $5.8 million standard contract. So this might be the guy here who gets put into the starting lineup. He was a highly productive player for them as a rotational player. When he did get, the chance to get 20-some minutes, he was very productive. So I would bet this is your guy. Very good rebounder. Pretty effective with the steals, not so many blocks, but this is a guy that could be a 5-category player. So I'm extremely interested in Trendon Watford here. And then I think Greg Brown, probably going to see an increase for him, but I think as a rookie, you're probably going to see Trendon Watford get the start and Greg Brown just maybe kind of stay in this role of 16 to 20 minutes per game. So very interesting. Again, we'll see if they play Papagiannis here, if they play some center minutes. Cody Zeller, is he coming back at any point here? They waived him a while ago. So we'll see if there's a center move here with this team. I would be very interested. So with that being said, that's going to finish this video. Thank you guys for your time. Like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.